Welcome to our impact report. I really hope that you enjoy seeing so much of the work that has been done across Bedfordshire by the team. We're a relatively small team, but we are so passionate about working collaboratively so that we can identify where the key gaps are and where we can work together to make the biggest difference and support those who face many challenges to be physically active.
OSF is the Opening School Facilities Programme, which is a Department for Education programme looking at the schools being the heart of the community and opening up their facilities beyond the school day so that the children within the school, but also the local community surrounding that school, can have a place to be active. It is a 3-year programme, and over those 3 years we had £290,000 that we spent across Bedfordshire, and that was working with 20 schools. And of those 20 schools, 12 schools received funding over the 3 years. The work was massively around collaboration, and that was the key to make it work. So we had to work with local national governing bodies, we worked with community organisations and local councils, and also sort of key stakeholders within the area.
So why do the kids love parkour so much?
I think it's like a combination of like letting yourself move naturally in an environment, and it's like more of a natural thing. I think like certainly when I was their age, I was like, whenever I was at the beach or anything, like running and jumping about and stuff. And so I feel like letting them do that in like a safe environment when they feel comfortable and where you can push them to like get to that next level, get to that next jump, I think that's really, really good for them. It really like helps them mentally.
So what development do you see on the children?
I think the main thing for me anyway is like seeing a confidence like boost during that first session, especially when they're a bit scared. They don't really understand, like, they don't know their own potential. Often they can do something and they don't realize it until we sort of break it down, we get them used to it, and then over those weeks you can really see they're starting to push themselves more than they knew they could do. And I find that anyway like really encouraging.
So Girls into Coaching is part of our School Games programme, and it's an area of work where we look at developing leaders and volunteers for the future, and as part of our people plan across Be Active. The programme allows us to give the opportunity for the girls to come and actually develop their skills across a number of different areas. So we look at planning and activity, safeguarding, philosophy and ethics, first aid, micro teaching for local primary school, and we also look at the Play Their Way concept. And they get this opportunity to do this 3 times. They can do 3 workshops throughout the year, and then at the end of that is then putting it into practice back in their own settings.
Today we're obviously here with the Girls into Coaching programme, which we've been operating for 3 years now, which is obviously a great programme for developing the girls, giving those opportunities to actually get the initial steps into actually coaching in the wider world, help them develop their volunteering skills, working with them, developing communication, actually engaging with them. You can actually see throughout the whole of the 3 different sessions how the girls have actually developed and actually started working together. Has been really great, hasn't it?
Absolutely. And today they had the opportunity to lead some sessions with some primary school children. We have been gauging how they've been getting on throughout the session. They felt very nervous to begin with, but by the end of the hour they'd worked with about 7 different groups of children, developed lots of confidence, and actually a show of hands at the end did reveal that there's a significant proportion of those young leaders that would like to go into coaching, leadership, or even teaching, some of them.
So Couch to Coach is a fund that helps remove a financial barrier to support people to access these qualifications that are generally quite expensive. So as part of our people plan and our DIAP, to be able to support a fair representation of our community within the coaching workforce, Couch to Coach has enabled us to support more people from diverse communities to access these qualifications, to be able to deliver sport and physical activity to our community. Couch to Coach Luton is a fund supported by the Luton Sport and Physical Activity Network that we've managed on their behalf. The idea of Couch to Coach is to support the diversity and representation of coaches across Luton, so the workforce that delivers sport and physical activity is more representative and reflective of the communities that we serve. The idea is to help people to either take their first steps into coaching or to re-engage into coaching after many years.
What made you want to take the step, become trained up to boxing coach?
When we started Vertex Initiative and Bellows of Boxing, I just saw the opportunity and said to myself, instead of me just continue boxing and being part of my fitness journey, I just wanted to be a coach and then teach people the importance of boxing and the importance of that self-discipline and fitness as well.
What benefits do you see for the young people today, for example, who are coming to take part in boxing class?
So we got a lot of kids who's taking boxing for different reasons, whether it's fitness, whether they want to box, whether they want to be able to stand up for themselves. We are able to teach them all of that. In addition, we're able to teach them the self-discipline of boxing. Boxing doesn't just come with being aggressive, fighting, because you know how to box. I think we trying to educate them around that side of boxing as well.
So working with BPHA, we were able to access some funding for them to be able to work with communities to provide a safe space and opportunities and learn to swim. BPHA were instrumental in accessing the audience, really. They know their communities. They've got some community officers that are working on the ground locally, working with schools and working with other clubs and organisations. So they were able to find out what the need was. We did a lot of a consultation to find out what they wanted, where they wanted it. Once we'd secured the venue, we then had to look at what needed to put in place in terms of female-only staff. So there were a few issues really to get in terms of getting it off the ground. Once we were up and running, it was really quite clear the importance of the project and what impact it had on the girls involved.
Here, I'm watching them, I'm so relaxed, I'm enjoying myself because I can see how well they're progressing.
Yeah.
And then I have to add this, the swimming instructors are amazing.
Yeah.
They are so good and so motivated. Even though you can't really hear them clearly, you can see when, well done, good. And
Yeah.
when we get home, we're on the walk home anyway, the children that I brought today, my children and my niece, they're just beaming. That their confidence has just gone through the roof.
So we've entered into a partnership with Public Health, Social Housing and Built Environments team. And that partnership actually has enabled us to develop some really positive relationships with housing associations across Bedfordshire. One of those housing associations, BPHA, are regenerating a number of their tower blocks and living spaces across Bedford over a significant period of time. They've got 3 tower boxes in the centre of Bedford called the Greyfriars development. We've been working in partnership with Public Health themselves, Sport England, David Luck Associates and Housing England actually to develop a piece that looks at ways in which that regeneration work can actually encourage residents to be more physically active and to lead healthier lives actually through better quality housing. We've also done some of our sort of more traditional work in relation to supporting clubs and organisations with the development of their facilities. There are 3 really which have come to fruition quite recently. Regeneration of the Pavilion at Lancaster Avenue, that's where the Blue Women and Girls Supporting Hub is. So these are tired old traditional changing facilities which have been completely revamped with the help and support of some money from Moonborough Council and Football Foundation into facilities which are much more sort of user friendly and attractive for girls and women to use.
Early on in my journey within my role, I reached out to NWG, so the National Working Group, and I saw this as a key collaborative partner to work with in order to think about how we can create safer environments within Bedfordshire. From this, we made a decision to roll out some bystander training in each local authority. Within this, I also wanted to think about other key partners that really could focus and support safeguarding in sport. So within this, I reached out to our local LADOs, so the local authority designated safeguarding officers, and also our children's safeguarding partners, as I saw these as a real key collaboration to support this piece of work.
Hi, my name's Kevin Murphy. I'm the Safeguarding and Sport Lead for the NWG Network. We're a small charity based in Derby,
and we've been tasked to help people understand how kids can be exploited through the medium of sport. Basically, our training is a bit of a course to get people to be aware of what's happening around them, called bystander interventions. What we want people to start doing is noticing what's happening in their area, on the sports pitch, in the changing rooms, wherever they go. It's about ending violence against women and girls, but also about making our sports community safer for everyone. The whole idea of the training is to get people to notice and have that skills and confidence to either intervene in the moment or to enlist an ally to get some help.
Over the last 12 months, we've put a lot of time and energy into developing sort of really key relationships with those community organisations that sort of best represent key areas of the local health system. So part of that, we've used our active medicine training tool that's trained over sort of 50 professionals from housing associations to public health colleagues to local healthcare professionals, all with the skills and confidence to be able to talk about physical activity and ensure that they're having their support in their conversations with their patients and residents and ensuring healthier lifestyles. It's sort of enabled us to help implement our people plan and support the delivery of that process. And then for the last sort of 12 months or so, I've supported a variety of different organisations to receive roughly in combination over £30,000 worth of Sport England funding, all of which have enabled them to deliver projects that have targeted those underrepresented communities to become physically activity in one way or another. We've done some really nice work with Your Life over the last 12 months, and during COVID they'd purchased a log cabin that sat on their car park to allow them to have daily access to their members and be able to deliver to those members throughout COVID. As we came out of COVID, this cabin needed repurposing, so we managed to source some funding through Luton's Healthy Weight and Physical Activity Fund to repurpose that cabin into a fully purposed and built gym. So as part of that, we've trained the staff and built them an on-site gym that residents are able to go into whenever they feel they want to, and provides them more opportunity to be physically active across the day, which is great. Really sort of focused on how can we bring our community and collaborate better with our partners across the last 12 months. So as a part of that process, we started to develop some county networking days. So with the focus on creating positive experiences for disabled people, we brought 23 different organisations into the room and had presentations from the Activity Alliance, from the Disability Rights UK, and ensured that we've got a really good representation from some local experts who formed our panel conversation. Some that are living with disabilities or have been working in the space for a long time and have real expertise and knowledge that helped shape our conversations going on in that event. So it was centered around how can we better co-produce and hear the voices of the disabled people and use that as our focus and as our drive to shape the programs and deliveries and work that we're doing moving forward. So really, really nice event.
Distributed leadership is a really key driver for Be Active. If we're going to make long-term change and support those that need the most support to be physically active, it's really important that we help empower and enthuse and provide motivation for those individuals in the community so that they can take hold and take responsibility to put things in place to support those in their neighbourhood to be physically active. A really good example of this is the faith-based centre work that we've been doing with Active Luton. We've had a really good opportunity there to identify leaders within those faith settings who, with our support, have been working on getting skills so that they can run physical activity sessions themselves. So that will really be embedded in that space and should be sustainable for the long term.
There's a lot of benefits. The benefits are very much monumental in terms of what they do through Active Luton and us as we're delivering it. And then obviously the disabled people and the people with special needs, as well as the caretakers. I suppose it kind of allows them to have a social element, but they might not get back in the care homes and stuff like that. Simply being out and give them that fun factor of being away from the care home, being able to do fun and games, kind of let their hair down a little bit. And then also kind of building relationships with the caretaker as well.
I really hope that you've enjoyed this impact report. I hope that it comes across how passionate and committed we are as a staff team to really do what we can with partners across Bedfordshire to collaborate, work together, identify where the greatest need is so that we can really support those people in Bedfordshire to move more.